In 2007, the likely nominee in the Democratic Party for president the following year was Hillary Clinton. But a young, bored, first-term senator from Illinois, Barack Obama, decided he'd make a run as well. And so over the course of 2007 and early into 2008, he developed a message that would eventually win over the American public. And part of that message was focused on the perception that Washington was corrupt, that it worked to address the needs of the special interests and lobbyists rather than ordinary Americans. Now, this was a great message for Barack Obama because Hillary Clinton had famously defended lobbyists at a Netroots Nation speech. Lobbyists were an ordinary part of government, she said, but that led most, at least most at that conference, to simply roll their eyes. And so by the beginning of 2008, Obama had perfected a message that told us why we needed to take up that fight. As he said at the AFL-CIO conference in Philadelphia in April 2008, if we don't take up that fight, the fight to change the way Washington works, then real change, change that will make a lasting difference in the lives of ordinary Americans, will keep getting blocked by the defenders of the status quo. We had to take up that fight. Now, I'm a great admirer of the president, but the reality is that he never took up that fight. Indeed, after he beat Hillary Clinton, the issue disappeared from his campaign. And never in the 8 years that he was president did he even introduce legislation that would block the defenders of the status quo from being able to block change of the status quo. Indeed, think about his signature legislation, Obamacare, which has within it two extraordinary provisions. The first makes it impossible for the government to negotiate drug prices for drugs the government itself buys, because the drug companies told Obama that if that power were given to the government, they would spend millions to defeat Democrats in 2010. Or think about the public option, which Obama promised would be part of his health care reform, but which was removed when the insurance companies told Obama that they would spend millions of dollars to defeat Democrats. Because these changes were not made, Obama could not change government the way he had promised. Real change, change that would make a lasting difference in the lives of ordinary Americans. Maybe it was not blocked, but it was certainly slowed by these defenders of the status quo. Now, fortunately, our current president saw all this up close, and he learned the lesson from Obama's mistake. Because Joe Biden has made the passage of H.R. 1, the For the People Act, a central commitment in his first part of his first term. And this bill, the most ambitious democracy reform package, I think, in the history of the nation, would change fundamentally how Washington works, or maybe how Washington, quote unquote, works. And if we can get it passed, and I know that's a big if, but it is possible, then real change in Washington would be possible. Now, we have to get this done. I don't care which organization you join or who you rally with, it doesn't matter. We have to get this done now. I've been fighting this fight for more than 15 years. My friend Fred Wertheimer has been fighting for almost 50 years. Enough of this struggle. It is absurd that we still don't have a government focused on what ordinary Americans want rather than the special interests. It's time for us to get it done, and this is our chance. Join with us to make sure Congress passes H.R. 1 before the end of this summer, because it's time that we take up that fight. Finally.